Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern Ned Reynolds in the studio. It's Thursday. The state of Missouri can now make sports bets online, just barely. But interestingly enough, right before that passed, Valley Sports, who carried the Royals games, flipped to now FanDuel, which is interesting. Now, that's for the Royals. What about the Cardinals?
Well, they're same situation. FanDuel is Bally's. They sold they had to. They were bankrupt. That's the Diamond Sports is what they call the company that owns it. But anyway, the Cardinals haven't made any decisions yet as to what they're going to do with their television. They're probably down to two options. One is that FanDuel that you just talked about, which is the new name for the Bally Sports, and it would continue as usual, but under a new company. So they're fairly well financed. However, if the Cardinals do decide to join them, they lose about 20% of the $78 million the company owned them through bankruptcy. Okay, that's one. The second is to establish their own app. And that would go, of course, for people who stream. And then it would be a subscription service, and you'd sign on as a subscriber. That's the one that this old man prefers. Or they could utilize both of them. But the fact is, the Cardinals have to face up to the situation that who's going to purchase any kind of television plan if they don't have a team that's worth watching. And they've already said they may have a fire sale this winter sometime, get rid of some of their big stars and start all over again. That's not going to sit very well with the fans up in St. Louis. They're accustomed to having a winning competitive team, so there are a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, but I do think the Cardinals will be on in some capacity.
Well, yeah, definitely. It's just another step in the future. You're going to have to pay for everything to watch or do anything. Former Springfield Cardinals manager just got a new contract and definitely deserved it, in my opinion.
Indeed. He has had his contract extended by the San Diego Padres. He is Mike Shildt. He's one of our favorites. The guy is really a top-notch baseball guy. He was not a great player in his college days, but he, in fact, is a very smart guy and has a good concept on baseball. Extended 2 years through the years 2027 now. He'll be piloting the Padres, and watch out. San Diego follows his scheme, and do they follow it well? They did this year, got in the playoffs. They'll be tough out. They really will.
Got two teams that have had a storied rivalry for decades. They haven't got a chance to get on the field together recently. But the next time they do, it looks like the boys from Oklahoma are favored just a little bit more, which is interesting.
I am very surprised at that, to be honest with you. Oklahoma is to whom you're making reference, and they and Missouri have a long-standing rivalry. Goes all the way back to the turn of the 20th century, back to about 1902, somewhere in that vicinity. And Oklahoma has a big-time winning edge. Of course, the Sooners had some great teams, including the only one in history to have 47 straight victories. That's over and above that. This year, Oklahoma is not quite as strong as they've been. They've had some serious injuries. They're a good team, don't get me wrong, but when you're playing the Southeastern Conference, you had better be at top level. Just ask Missouri. Anyway, the two of them reunite for the first time in 13 years on Saturday night at Faurot Field in Columbia, and Oklahoma is the 2.5-point favorite. We'll see. It might be very, very interesting.
Putting any chocolate chips on this one?
Actually, we're getting beyond chocolate chips now because it's all legal. or it will be. It's not
so
yet.
We got to wait till January 1 to say anything about it.
So we'll call them copper collateral or something like that.
Yeah, and as we go down this road into the wild, wild west of sports betting, just FYI, Ned's wrong most of the time.
Well, I am on the microphone. You don't know about privately, though.
I don't see you coming in here with any chocolate. Tonight will be at Coyote Sports Adobe Cafe on Glenstone. Got a good Thursday night football matchup this time in the AFC North. Bengals, Ravens, Baltimore. Despite the records, this is always going to be a great game.
And I fully agree. I think it'll be a very good football game. Cincinnati is capable. They're a very good offensive team. They do have some problems on defense, admittedly, but when you have Joe Burrow at quarterback, you're going to be able to throw the ball. Baltimore, that's a horse of a different color, so to speak, or a bird of a different color in this case. But the Ravens are a very good football team, folks, and they could very well be the second best team in the National Football League. Well, they've already lost to Kansas City once in the opener this year. They may play again somewhere along the line. This game tonight, Baltimore is a 6-point favorite at kickoff, but watch out because this is the NFL and there is parity and a lot of things can happen.
It is the NFL, and again, we'll be at Coyotes tonight starting at 7 o'clock. Come see us. Your chance to win $25 to spin there and a signed mystery box of Fast Break Sports. So we had some pretty good scattered basketball games yesterday, didn't we?
Including the two-time defending national champions, Connecticut. The Connecticut Huskies played Sacred Heart, which is a college in Connecticut. And Connecticut beat Sacred Heart easily by a score of 92-56. The Arkansas Razorbacks played their opener. This was their season opener against Lipscomb. Now, many folks aren't familiar with Lipscomb. It's in Nashville, Tennessee, and it is a Division I program, and they have had, over the past years, some pretty good basketball teams. Arkansas beats them by a score of 76-60 is the final. Indiana got a win over SIU Edwardsville by 19. But the big surprise of the night is nationally ranked Villanova, one of the top basketball programs on the collegiate level in the nation. 9 straight years in the NCAA tournament, a former national champion, lose. And they lose to Columbia University from the Ivy League. That's not to downgrade Columbia at all, but that wasn't thought to happen. Columbia 90, Villanova 80. Ooh, that doesn't sit well with the Wildcats at all.
No, it does not, sir. But as they say, it's a long season. Just not in college basketball, because sometimes you get enough of those losses, and it doesn't take a few, and that's pretty much your season right there. It's that time of year where we're starting to see, of course, college basketball start to ramp up. But some of those fall sports seasons ramping down.
They are championship rounds, and in volleyball, it's the girls volleyball state championships in Cape Girardeau, and we have some very good area representation. Ozark, Fairgrove, all down in Cape Girardeau to begin that competition. That's this weekend. Football is the second round of the 3 rounds of district play. That all culminates next weekend with the district championship game. But come on, it's one loss and you're gone, and anything can happen. Nixa is going to be matched up again with Ozark after a bye week for Nixa. Branson and Glendale will play us just a couple of the mentions that we have. And those games, of course, are tomorrow night. There are all sorts of title rounds going on in soccer and in cross country. All that on the availability for the state championships in Missouri high school sports. The fall season winding down, the winter season about to begin, and it's always a lot of fun.
You have a great day, sir. Enjoy the fall weather, and I will see you on Friday. Thank God.